On April 15th, 2019, I was diagnosed with definitely stage 3 colon cancer and possibly stage 4 because they believe it may have moved to my liver. Let me start first by saying there's no history of cancer in my family. And so at 50, when I was told to go get a colonoscopy, I kind of blew it off, to be honest with you. And now at 51, I wish I would have done it a year ago. I'll also get a little graphic and let you know that I've never been a very regular person. Had I been a regular person, you know, that person who gets up every morning at 6 o'clock, has their cup of joe, and then goes and does their daily constitutional, I probably would have realized there was a problem long before I did. This last October, I had oral surgery, and from that, I had antibiotics, and I also had pain medicine. Pain medicine can cause constipation, and the antibiotics can kill all the good material that's in, or the good stuff that's in your gut that keeps your system running. A couple days after the surgery, I realized that yes, I'm definitely indeed was constipated, bumped up my fiber, did all that kind of stuff, and got myself kind of back on track, but it was never quite 100% there. Then in December, I had a total knee replacement. December of 2018. And again, so I've got more pain meds and more antibiotics. Again, constipation, try to work through it with everything I needed to. Fiber, I'm doing some probiotics, that type of stuff. I was never quite able to get it back on track. Once it got to the point that I was in probably late February, I realized there was something wrong, that this was not normal, and that I needed to go in to see my general physician to tell him what was going on. My GP pushed around in my gut a little bit, asked me if there was any pain. There wasn't. He said, but it sounded like probably actually had constipation still, and diarrhea, which I did not know you could have both of those things, was being caused with everything having to push around the constipation. So he said, let's get you on some higher probiotics. Let's do some like Miralax type stuff. Let's get your gut cleaned out, your system cleaned out, get your gut back in order. It'll probably take about 2 weeks or so, and we should get you back on the road. He also took an x-ray just to make sure what he was looking at, and the x-ray came back and they said, yeah, definitely saw constipation, and that would be the cause of what was going on. We did this with the laxatives and high fiber and doing all of that for pretty much most of the way through March. So we worked on this for probably about 4 or 5 weeks, and then my GP finally said, this is not working. We need to get you into a gastroenterologist. So I made an appointment, went in to go see one in the very first part of April. Did the same thing, pushed around in my gut, asked me if anything hurt. It did not. Didn't seem too concerned about the things that I've been going through. Said the same thing. It's just probably constipation. You need to get cleaned out. Let's get you in for a colonoscopy. We'll talk after that, and then we'll do a follow-up at the end of April. So I scheduled a colonoscopy for the 15th of April. The night before, I did the prep work like you're supposed to do, and I'd always heard that it was not the most fun thing, but I was looking forward to it, thinking if it would finally clean me out and get rid of some of my the symptoms I was having. I was looking forward to it, because by this point, my stomach started hurting when I would eat, so I didn't want to eat all the time. Just nothing tasted good. I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't getting enough energy in. It was hard for me to concentrate. Things were just, I was not feeling good. So I did the prep work on the Sunday night before going in, and it was the most excruciating pain I have ever felt in my life. Come to find out later, with a 5 to 6 centimeter tumor blocking everything and no place for everything to go, that can cause a lot of internal problems. Got through the night, went in the next morning for the colonoscopy. When they told me I was going to be put out and I would, be out for 15 minutes, maybe 30 or so, I was looking forward to it because I had not slept the night before. So I just thought even medicated sleep for 30 minutes is going to be just fantastic. Wheeled me into the room. Next thing I know, I'm waking up and coming out of the daze back in the little waiting room area in my bed with my husband on the side of me and my gastroenterologist with this look on his face like I'd not seen before, and him saying, it's not good, that he'd found a tumor. Like I said, it was about 5 to 6 centimeters big. He couldn't even go around the tumor to finish the rest of the colonoscopy. and that it looked like it had metastasized because of the way it looked, and they weren't quite sure where else it was, that they were going to admit me into the hospital and go from there. Shortly after that, all of the pain meds started wearing off, or whatever they put me under, and the pain that I had felt the night before came back, and it was excruciating. They gave me some, high power medication, morphine, Dilaudid, and even that wasn't working for very long. So I was admitted to the hospital on Tuesday. They did a CT scan. And they said that they found spots on the liver as well. So it looked like it actually had metastasized, and it was in other places in the body, so it was stage 4. But until they got all the tests back, they couldn't say for sure. By that Tuesday afternoon, I was still in so much pain that the general surgeon, or the surgeon there at the hospital, started talking about doing a colostomy to reroute from above the tumor, so that way my system would be able to continue to work. And they would do it as a temporary one, so that way everything gets all healed. They'd be able to put everything back, and I wouldn't be on a colostomy for the rest of my life. So that evening, they did that surgery. I was in the hospital for till that following Saturday. I was severely anemic. I had 2 pints of blood given to me, and if you've never had blood before, it doesn't hurt, but it's a long process, and your arms are straight out the whole entire time, and it was not fun at all. I was dehydrated. I was trying to eat, but nothing looked good, tasted good, and so my energy was just extremely low. Got back home that Saturday, and that next week worked on finding an oncologist, because the one that was in the hospital unfortunately was not in my network, but he gave me a referral. I found another oncologist. We got the paperwork all set up, finally got in to see him. He took a look at everything that he had and said, okay, let's get this started. You definitely have stage 3, and just from what they saw in the surgery when they did the colostomy bag and were able to go over the liver, it really does look like it's on your liver as well. So now that's basically how I got to where I'm at right now. The tumor is still there. They will work first with chemo to get the cancer off of the liver. That's where they go first, and then they will then hopefully also the chemo will shrink the tumor down in the colon. If all that goes well, then we'll just keep moving with the chemo, and hopefully they'll be able to get it all off of the liver and shrink the tumor small enough where they can remove the tumor and then put everything back in place, and I'll just go forward with that. So as of right now, I've got probably about 6 months of chemo ahead of me. Once I can recover from the surgery, which colostomy surgery is not a fun surgery to come back from. I had total knee replacement in December, and that was a cakewalk compared to this. With an incision about that far straight down in through your stomach, it takes a little while to heal from that. So that's where we are as of right now. I'm going to do daily updates. This information kind of catches everybody up on what's been going on and where I am right now.